Hello, everybody. My name is Diana. I'm web accessibility expert, and I'm specialized on web development based on RGAA web accessibility standard. But as I work with the companies not just located in France, but all around Europe, so I have to apply different standards according to what the company needs and on which markets it is located. So I get a lot of questions on what is the practical difference between RGAA and WCAG. So most of you must probably heard of WCAG. It's internationally recognized web accessibility standard. It's web content accessibility guidelines. So it's literally about what we apply it to, what is about a web accessibility and to which objects we apply it. But RGAA, it's more strict with rules, and it literally gives you an answer on how we apply. And today I will show you precisely on one example. We just will take a look at the button on the side, and we'll take a look with different standard according to WCAG and RGAA. And we'll see what is the difference and according to which standard it actually will be considered to be accessible. So now we'll share with you the screen and I will show you the site where we'll go. Hopefully that's where we'll get. Yes, I hope you can see it. So we're right now just on ordinary web page, and here is a section. So innovate with accessibility, and there is the button book a 30-minute call. Okay, so let's take a look. So first, what we can see, it's the section with the good background. It's a dark green color, and it looks fine visually, but how it does perform under accessibility testing according to WCAG and RGAA. So that's what we will see. So first, you need to take a look by yourself what you think about this section, whether everything can be read, whether you like how it's located. So here you can see when I actually put the focus on it, when I click the cursor on it, then the outer layer disappears, the contour of the button. And this is the visual element that I believe could be improved, because like this, I don't really see that the focus is on this button. Even though I can see that there's a link, so it's working, so it leads to Calendly. This is good. I see the link, so it's good. I also suggest to provide NVDA screen reader test right now so that we both check whether it's accessible for a screen reader. It's important part of the check. So I will just turn it on. This is the tool that I have. Okay. So let's go straight to this button. Okay, it wants to go straight through several ones. Okay, I a little bit lost. Where was it? Where was it? Sorry, I got lost on the side. Okay, what it says, book a 30-minute call, visited link. So this means that it pronounced precisely the text, what is visual on the button. This is the good moment, because the text that you see should be precisely the text or containing the text that the screen reader read. It shouldn't be the different data. Like, for example, if you have a link which says like a telephone number, but it doesn't really say what is the number, this is the problem, because for people who use screen reader, they will not be able to see that you wrote the precise phone number of your company. They will just hear phone number. And this is the problem. Okay, but let's take a closer look. Okay, so according to WCAG perspective, so we check if the button has an accessible name, whether it can be activated with the keyboard, and is announced correctly by screen readers. So we checked with the screen reader, it can be pronounced right, the name is right. So this is just one moment, but we need to check all the 2.1 criteria, like this is AA level for WCAG. And the first one is non-text content, not content. So like, for example, does it have accessible name? And accessible name, that's what we hear. That's what we checked. This is the first one with the screen reader. And we check that it's precisely the text the text that the screen reader pronounce correspond to the visual text. That's good. Then the second one, the keyboard. Is it reachable with the keyboard? And actually, if you noticed, I use the keyboard to navigate when I use the screen reader to this button, but I will do it again. So you can see that it goes there and we see a visual focus on the button. This is good. So we can navigate with the keyboard to this button. And the third moment, it's the link purpose. So is the purpose clear? Yes, we can see that clicking on this button, we can book a 30-minute call with an expert. And this also, like if I use enter, so can we go there? Yes, we can open Calendly. So the link works. Sorry, I will just turn off the NVDA, the screen reader. This is important because otherwise you will hear not just my voice, but also screen reader. We checked with the screen reader that it pronounced right, that there are no problems and no mistakes in the accessible name and the visual text, this connection. Okay, so according to WCAG, it's principle-based, so it should be perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. These are 4 principles that we need to follow. And the button seem to follow these 4 principles. Then we need to check right now according to WCAG standard. So this is more strict, and that's where might be a problem. Because if we take a look at the code, sorry, we can see that actually it's not just the button. I hope that you can see it on the screen, that it's actually a link that has a design of a button. But this is the problem because it's not a real button. So it has a problem about the name of this element. So this is the problem that we see. And as RGAA is more strict, it's structurized around text units and success failure results. So for these specific buttons, it checks keyboard accessibility, RGAA, visible name, and correct semantic role. And it's more strict according to the regulations, as it's connected not just to the French public sector, but also the private ones, according to common law that comes in 1 month. But the point is that the semantic role of this button is not correct one. And we see here that like we need to check that every script triggered action must be accessible via the keyboard. That's what we checked. So check. The buttons might have visible and accessible names. That's what we also have, sorry. But the role of the button must be correctly exposed. And that's where we have a problem because the semantic role of this button is not correct. It's just a link that looks like a button. And so if we just we just think of the results, so to compare between WCAG and RGAA, so it's the difference is that for WCAG it should be flexible, principles-based, international, and used as reference everywhere, while for RGAA it's based on WCAG, but it's with stricter tests, mandatory in France, not just for public sectors, but also for private ones, especially according to the law that is coming, and it comes with detailed test method. So what can be said more is that we have here a problem with the semantic role. And according to WCAG, actually, this button is accessible. But according to RGAA, it fails this principle because the button has a wrong semantic role. So just this element is not accessible according to the French standard. And WCAG is more flexible in many ways, while RGAA is stricter, and that's what we can observe. So in order to meet both WCAG and RGAA standards, what we can do, I will just stop share. So what we can do in order to meet both standards, international one and French one. So we need to use semantic HTML when possible. Like it's better use it from the beginning, but I understand that it might be different, especially when we have complex sites that have complex structure. But a real button works better, and it ensures correct area roles and keyboard interaction if you're using a styled A element as a link. So yes, it's important to understand the difference between WCAG and RGAA. I hope that this small example will give you better understanding what is the difference and how it should be used, and what you can do with it. So please let me know if you want me to take a look at other elements, and we can understand better on like, for example, images or the keyboard interaction, like what is the difference. And we can also check other standards in comparison with WCAG and RGAA. So yes, but thank you for watching, and please follow me if you are interested about practical accessibility deep dives. Thank you. Bye.